Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for always stopping by, liking, commenting and subscribing. For the new ones, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn on notification bell so that you'll be notified when I drop the next update on Can You See Me? Stay tuned on today's episode. Pihu wakes up in the morning. Suchi wishes her good morning, getting ready. Pihu asks where she's going to. Suchi says the office. Pihu says she thought she'd resigned. Suchi says she's starting afresh and leaves. Pihu asks what does she mean, even she wants to start afresh. Anandita reminisces last night's incident about goons attacking her and thinks who they are. Her friend Arake asks her till when will she sit alone, that she can join her school as consulting faculty. It's the city's best school, XK school. Anandita says her Pihu also wanted to join that school and they were getting her admission next year. She will not go to that school now. Raki asks her to rethink again. Suchi's boss walks into his cabin. Pooja gives him Suchi's letter and praises Suchi for bravery, taking her side. Boss reads Suchi's letter, thanking him for giving her a new start and kicking Mr. Sharma out of his heinous art. She also comments boss that even he came 15 minutes late today. The boss angrily tears letter and says he would show her what new start is. Puan gives parcel to Suchi. Boss orders her to deliver it to client within 20 minutes. Suchi thinks how she can. Pooja laughs that she should not have written such a letter. Suchi rushes towards client's place. The boss calls and orders her to hurry up. She delivers the parcel. Boss calls her and asks her why she took 40 minutes. She says there was huge traffic. Boss says exactly. People delayed due to uncontrolled circumstances. She murmurs he made her run just to make her realize her mistake. He asks what? She says nothing. He says happy new starting. Pihu look at the Gogo playing with his friend wearing school uniform and tells Gopal that she also wants to attend school and play and should not have died. Gopal says something new will happen. Suchi returns home and sees Pihu sitting sadly. She shows Suman feeding Gogo and says she wants that life. Why did she die if she cannot relive and attend school like other children? Suchi hugs her and consoles her and says she will go to SK school with Gogo wearing uniform and return home with other students. Pihu asks what about admission. Suchi says she does not need admission. Pihu happily informs Gopal and says this is her new start. Gopal asks her to fold her hands and asks him that. She laughs and says he should ask instead. Gopal asks to do as he says and says, Gopal, please bring my mother to me. Pihu gets emotional and requests. Gopal smiles. Subo calls Anandita and asks why she called. She asks if he has any enemies. He asks if she's still at Raki's house and if she's doing any job. She says Raki wants her to join her school. Subo says she should else return to him to Singapore. Pihu wakes up hearing someone waking up Gogo to go to school and drops water on Suchi to wake her up. Suchi wakes up and says she would have dropped her in school bus after an hour. Pihu sadly says she forgot she is Butu and not her mama's Pihu. Suchi cheers her up and gets her ready to school with imaginary uniform. Anandita on the other side informs Raki that she is ready to accept the teacher's job. Suchi gets Pihu ready for school in school uniform and gives her school bag. Pihu asks where her lunch box is. Suchi asks what she wants to have. Pihu says sandwich. Gopal says he wants Malau buffet. Pihu says same. Suchi goes to get sandwich and Malau buffet. Pihu shows back to Gopal and says she's going to school, but her bag does not have fairy tale pencil or book. Suchi comes. Pihu asks her to lock the door else Suchi will take her pillow. Shetal sees Suchi locking her room door and gets jealous, determined to snatch room from Suchi. They both got to the scooter and see Gogo sitting on Pihu's side. Pihu asks Suchi she needs her seat. Suchi tells Gogo that side car has lizard. Gogo leaves fast. Pihu sits on it smilingly. Suchi drops them to school. Anandita also comes to school with Raki. Gogo plays flute. Suchi throws flying keys to Pihu and asks to return to school in school bus. Pihu does not notice her mother. Gogo is surprised that his Didi is showering so much love. Gopal hears Sheetal's drama and reaches home and sees her acting as possessed by ghosts. Suchi reaches office. Pooja says boss gave her most trusted assignment and she has to finish it within 15 minutes and got an assignment. The boss walks in slowly. Suchi gets happy that the man she fought with is her assistant and laughs on him that by God's grace he is her assistant now and gives him fire. Everyone is shocked seeing that. Assistant comes. Suchi thanks him as boss and asks boss to greet him. Pooja thinks Suchi would get herself into trouble. Assistant greets boss. Suchi gets embarrassed and apologizes to him. The boss scolds Pooja and why she hired Suchi and walks in. Sheetal acts as possessed by a ghost. Her Papa Baba comes and after a bit of acting asks Sarita to give Suchi's room to her baho. Suman asks Sarita to give it. Sarita asks why she should give Suchi's room. Gopal does Lila and Suman says she knows how to ward off evil and beats Sheetal with broom. Sheetal shouts ghost it's gone and fake Baba runs away. Gopal smiles and says he's guarding Pihu'S room here. Suchi shows her presentation to the client. They get impressed and praise her. The boss anger calms down and he tells Suchi from heroine that they would work as team. Suchi says she got this job by her merit and interview and she deserves it. The boss challenges he would make sure to make her realize she does not deserve this job. Suchi drops juice on her dress by mistake. Boss says it is his good fate. Client will come in 1 hour. She will pack and drop them to hotel and then finish presentation. She should not let her dress stain the company. Suchi accepts challenge. Pihu goes to classroom and asks students to give her seat. Nobody hears her. She finds a seat and sits. Teacher gives fairy tale pencil and says whatever they draw would come true. Suchi draws her mother's eyes and says she's missing her. From next classroom, Anandita sings her song while teaching students. Pihu hears that and runs towards next room, but her room is locked. Pihu cries, reminiscing her mother and calls Mama, and Bobru is to come and take her home. School bell rings and all students leave school. Pihu knocks door and pleads everyone to open the door, but nobody hears her. She sees Anandita going and calls her to no avail. Sheetal calls her mother and informs that she did a lot of drama to get Suchi's room, but Sarita did not budge. Mother tells her Suchi is like a cow and will accept her request without drama. Suchi comes home and sees Gogo sleeping and wakes him up and asks if his school was let off soon. Gogo asks if she would drop her off to school again tomorrow. She calls Pihu and does not find her. Sheetal stops her and says her room. Suchi asks her to tell quick or tell later and walks away. Sheetal yells she's so arrogant. Now she would definitely snatch her room. Anandita comes out of school and sees someone tampering her car. She runs and catches him, but he runs away. She calls driver and scolds him. Go and speak to his boss and says he will shoot Anandita next time. Suchi's boss calls her number. Google speaks and says Suchi has gone out and he can call after 1 to 2 hours. The boss fumes. Suchi rushes to school and requests guards to let her in as her child is in. Guards let her in after a bit of hesitation. Pihu hears her voice and calls. Suchi hears voice from room and opens it. Pihu says her mama was here. Suchi realizes her phone is missing and her boss must have called, so she would search Pihu's mama some other day. Sheetal drops things in her room, applies sauce on her forehead and acts as unconscious. Gogo sees her and informs family. Drama ensues. Family rushes to her and calls doctor. Doctor checks and says her child is fine and she does not have any injury on forehead. Suchi and Pihu reach home. Sheetal cries that she saw a big ghost with horns. Pihu asks Suchi if she is black and has horns. Suchi says she's not talking about her. Pihu says Sheetal lies so much. Gogo gives Suchi's phone and says her phone was running so much. Suchi sees her boss's missed calls and messages and rushes to the office. Sankaup sees sauce bottle and scolds her. Suchi reaches office and boss scolds her. She says she finished his tasks, Boss says this is because client came 1 hour late and scolds her not to make any mistake again. Pihu confronts Gopal and asks when she can meet her mama. Gopal says her wish is fulfilling soon. Boss asks Suchi to go and meet her new team leader. Anandita meets Suchi as new team leader. Gopal smiles. Okay guys, thank you for watching today's episode on Can You See Me? Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and stay tuned for more updates. Bye.